In a week of turbulent confrontations, buried secrets, and unraveling alliances, General Hospital delivered 4 explosive episodes that pushed relationships to their breaking point and laid the groundwork for future power plays. From poolside blow-ups to courtroom revelations, this stretch of episodes exposed characters' deepest fears, revealed long-hidden truths, and tested the limits of loyalty. At the center of the storm stood Drew, whose press conference quickly spiraled into disaster, exposing not just legal maneuvers but deeply personal betrayals that reverberated through Port Charles. Drew's much-anticipated press conference was intended as a show of resilience and strength, a chance for him to publicly clear his name and reaffirm his standing. Instead, it became the site of a stunning betrayal. Tracy, who had reluctantly played along with Drew's legal defense until now, found herself unable to suppress her disgust. In front of the gathered press and legal observers, she abruptly renounced the plan and publicly condemned Drew as a disgrace. Her words sent shockwaves through the courtroom, undermining Drew's credibility just as he tried to control the narrative. The damage only deepened when Cody crashed the press event, taking the opportunity to tell the assembled crowd the truth about the infamous ketamine incident. His confession, that he was the one picking up the drug and used Tracy's car, exonerated her but left the entire ordeal tainted with deceit. The fallout was immediate. Martin, caught in the legal crossfire, suffered an injury on the stand that could lead to long-term consequences, including surgery and a potential lawsuit against Tracy. While Drew tried to manage the escalating disaster, Curtis was having a public relations crisis of his own. At the Metro Court pool, Portia couldn't help but notice Curtis gravitating toward Jordan. Her frustration finally boiled over, leading to a heated confrontation in which she accused Jordan of trying to sabotage her family. The altercation escalated to the point where Portia, unable to contain her fury, hurled her drink into Jordan's face, shocking onlookers. Curtis attempted to mediate afterward, assuring Trina that everything was under control, but the tension lingered. Meanwhile, Kai's quiet observation of Drew's mishandling of the press conference convinced him to take action. Feeling morally compromised but also pressured by Drew's ambition, Kai decided to reveal what he knew about Curtis's behind-the-scenes activities. This secret exchange could set off a chain of repercussions for both men, especially as Drew clings to any narrative that might salvage his reputation. Elsewhere in Port Charles, Willow's engagement to Drew was met with dismay by those who still cared about her. Nina, feeling increasingly isolated, tried once again to appeal to Willow's heart and stop the wedding, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Desperate, Nina turned to Carly, hoping that she could convince Willow to change her mind. Carly, torn between her disdain for Nina and her concern for Willow and the children, found herself in an uncomfortable position. Michael, meanwhile, issued an ultimatum to Willow upon hearing the news. If she went through with marrying Drew, he would ensure she lost access to the children. The threat only served to push Willow further into Drew's arms, reinforcing her resolve. The damage to the family unit, however, was undeniable. While adult dramas flared, younger storylines at the Metro Court pool provided their own revelations. Rocco and Danny began their first day as pool attendants under the watchful eye of Gio, whose patience was tested by the boys' antics. Their mischief reached its peak when Brooke Lynn, distracted by other matters, accidentally left a sensitive file on the table. Inside were 2 birth certificates, one naming Britt as Rocco's mother. When the boys later discovered this file, it threatened to upend their understanding of their family and stir up long-buried questions about their pasts. Brooke Lynn, caught between truth and consequence, now faces the challenge of protecting both Rocco's emotional well-being and her own role in concealing the truth. The family dynamic was further complicated by Lulu's presence at the pool. Her keen eye lingered not just on Rocco, but on Gio as well. Brooke Lynn, noticing this connection, couldn't help but wonder if Lulu saw more than just a teenager in Gio, perhaps the ghost of a shared past or the unspoken truth of a deeper bond. As these emotional undercurrents swirled beneath the surface, Cody's focus shifted to the gallery, where his plan to seduce Ava continued under the guise of flirtation and charm. Whether his motives were genuine or strategic remained unclear, but Ava's past was certainly about to become more entangled. In another corner of Port Charles, Alexis expressed gratitude to Elizabeth for her discretion in not reporting Christina. This act of mercy underscored the complicated web of loyalty and moral compromise that defined many of the week's interactions. Meanwhile, Martin's back injury was confirmed to be severe enough to warrant surgery, prompting a lawsuit against Tracy, a twist that could realign the legal landscape once again. At the Quartermain mansion, a chilling sequence unfolded as Sasha tucked Daisy in for the night, only to be startled by subtle yet disturbing changes. Daisy's position in bed had shifted, and she was now wearing a different jumpsuit, something Sasha had not done. A silent intruder had entered the nursery, and this realization sent Sasha spiraling into panic. She relayed the strange events to Cody, uncertain whether she was losing her grip on reality or being targeted. As Sasha struggled with the weight of her past traumas and the new threat looming in her home, questions of safety and trust crept back into her life. Tensions between Dante and Gio also simmered beneath the surface. Dante reached out with a peace offering, inviting Gio to a symphony performance with the kids, only for Gio to decline. The rejection underscored the growing emotional rift between them, driven by secrets neither was ready to face. Later, Dante crossed paths with Jason and made a surprising move, apologizing for earlier criticisms of Jason's parenting. The gesture was unexpected and fraught with unspoken pain, hinting at shifting allegiances and emotional reconciliation. As if the week hadn't delivered enough chaos, Friday's events ensured that the episode ended with an emotional explosion. Sunny, determined to protect Natalia, decided to send her out of the country immediately, despite her resistance. The sudden change to her itinerary only reinforced her feeling of abandonment. Meanwhile, Carly and Jason shared a rare quiet moment reminiscing about Michael's baptism, a poignant contrast to the storm gathering around their children. That peace was quickly shattered when Natalia crashed Daisy's baptism, creating a scene just as Sasha was trying to keep the mood light. Outside the church, Anna confronted D.A. Turner about a mysterious case file regarding Sunny that had inexplicably been left on her desk. The file hinted at a renewed investigation, one that could drag Sonny back into a world of legal peril just as he thought he was securing his family's safety. And while the adults were focused on immediate threats, Sidwell was biding his time, quietly reviewing photographs of everyone connected to Sonny. With each image, he plotted the next move in a slow-burning vendetta that promised to reach across family lines, touch the innocent and the guilty alike, and alter the balance of power in Port Charles forever. As the week ended, it became clear that no alliance was safe, no secret secure, and no heart fully protected from what was coming next.